Whispers in Europe's courts revealed a family's code of secrecy and unity that financed wars and shaped continents. The Rothschilds mastered it, but was it a blueprint for power or a veiled conspiracy against the masses? Welcome to the Wealth Timeline, where we uncover how money, power, and history intertwine to shape the world we live in. Today, we decode the elite mindset, the habits that forged hidden empires, from 18th century banking networks to industrial monopolies that still echo in our global economy. Picture Frankfurt in the late 1700s, a city of narrow streets and emerging trade. Here, Mayer Amschel Rothschild, born in 1744 to a modest Jewish money-changing family in the Judengasse ghetto, laid the foundation for one of history's most enduring financial dynasties. Starting as a coin dealer and court factor to the Landgraves of Hesse-Kassel in the 1760s, Rothschild cultivated habits of meticulous integrity and strategic foresight. His motto, Concordia, Integritas, Industria, Harmony, Integrity, Industry, wasn't mere rhetoric. It embodied a mindset of family unity and long-term vision. By the 1790s, amid the chaos of the French Revolutionary Wars, Rothschild sent his 5 sons to Europe's financial hubs: Amschel to Frankfurt, Salomon to Vienna, Nathan to London, Karl to Naples, and James to Paris. This dispersal wasn't random, it was a calculated habit of diversification and control. The family maintained secrecy through private couriers and agents, gaining information advantages that outpaced rivals. For instance, Nathan Rothschild, his network delivered news of Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo in 1815 ahead of the British government, allowing profitable bond trades. Across the Atlantic, similar mindsets emerged in the 19th century's industrial dawn. Andrew Carnegie, born in 1835 in Dunfermline, Scotland, immigrated to Pittsburgh in 1848 amid economic hardship. Starting as a bobbin boy earning $1.20 weekly, he honed habits of frugality and opportunism. By 1853, as a telegraph operator for the Pennsylvania Railroad, Carnegie learned cost control and insider investing, channeling earnings into railroads and oil. John D. Rockefeller, born in 1839 in Richford, New York, mirrored this. From age 16 in 1855 as a Cleveland bookkeeper, he kept Ledger A, a journal tracking every expense, to enforce thrift, saving string from packages and donating portions of his salary to charity from the start. These origins reveal a pattern. Apparent rags to riches tales masked deeper strategies. Progress in banking and industry often concealed control mechanisms, like family alliances or vertical integration, that concentrated power. But what propelled these habits from survival tools to empire builders? The answer lies in their relentless expansion. As Europe stabilized post-Napoleon, the Rothschilds' habits forged a banking colossus. By the 1820s, they dominated government bonds and loans, financing Brazil's independence in 1824 with $3 million and the Suez Canal's construction. Their strategy, family control, avoiding joint stock banks to preserve secrecy, and arranged marriages among cousins until the late 1800s, ensuring wealth stayed internal. This mindset of harmony yielded the 19th century's largest private fortune, influencing railways like Germany's Taunus Line in 1840 and mining giants like Rio Tinto in 1873. In America, Carnegie's rise accelerated in the 1860s. Serving in the U.S. Military Telegraph Corps during the Civil War, he invested war profits into ironworks and bridges. Adopting the Bessemer process in 1875 for mass steel production, he practiced vertical integration, acquiring coal mines, iron fields, railways, and ships. By 1889, his Edgar Thomson Steel Works produced more steel than all of Britain, protected by tariffs he lobbied for. Carnegie's habit of reinvesting surplus, limiting personal income to $50,000 annually per an 1868 memo, fueled this, blending ruthless efficiency with a philosophy that wealth was a trust for society. Rockefeller's ascent was equally methodical. Entering oil in 1863 with a Cleveland refinery, he founded Standard Oil in 1870. Habits of optimism and economies of scale defined him, building barrels in-house, hiring chemists for byproducts like gasoline. By 1882, The Standard Oil Trust controlled 90% of U.S. refining through rebates from railroads and predatory pricing, buying rivals or undercutting them. Rockefeller's positive thinking, rooted in Baptist faith, viewed setbacks as opportunities, amassing a fortune equivalent to 1.5% of U.S. GDP. Yet this rise carried shadows. Hidden costs emerged: worker exploitation in Carnegie's mills, environmental tolls from Rockefeller's operations. Motives veiled as progress often masked monopolistic grip. As empires peaked, cracks formed. What if the very habits that built them sowed their undoing? By the late 1800s, these hidden empires faced exposure. For Carnegie, the fracture hit in 1892 at Homestead Steel Works. Amid wage cuts, a violent strike erupted. His manager, Henry Clay Frick, hired Pinkerton agents, resulting in a deadly clash with 9 workers killed. Though Carnegie was abroad, public outrage branded him a hypocrite, clashing with his Gospel of Wealth essay from 1889 advocating benevolent riches. The event tarnished his image, accelerating his 1901 sale of Carnegie Steel to J.P. Morgan for $303 million, forming U.S. Steel, the world's first billion-dollar corporation. Rockefeller's empire shattered legally. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 targeted trusts. Ohio dissolved Standard Oils in 1892, but it reformed in New Jersey. Investigative journalism, like Ida Tarbell's 1904 expose in McClure's magazine, revealed coercive tactics. In 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Standard Oil an illegal monopoly, breaking it into 34 companies, including precursors to Exxon and Chevron. Rockefeller, retired since the 1890s, saw his strategies condemned as restraint of trade. The Rothschilds endured differently. World wars eroded their dominance. Nazi seizures in Austria, 1938, and French nationalization, 1982, diluted branches. Yet their habits of asset mobility, holding wealth in bonds and stocks, preserved core influence. These fractures weren't ends, but transformations. Monopolies dissolved, but the mindset persisted, birthing subtler powers. But what replaced them was far more dangerous. Cycles of inequality that linger today. Echoes of these habits resonate in today's billionaires, backed by verifiable patterns. Warren Buffett, born in 1930, embodies Rockefeller's thrift and Carnegie's long-term reinvestment. As CEO of Berkshire Hathaway since 1965, Buffett spends 80% of his day reading annual reports, newspapers, cultivating patience that yielded a $100 billion plus fortune. His circle of competence habit, investing only in understood industries, mirrors Rothschild secrecy, avoiding speculative risks. Elon Musk, born in 1971, channels relentless work ethic akin to Carnegie's opportunism. In Musk's routine includes time blocking in 5-minute increments, working 100 hours weekly across Tesla, founded 2003, and SpaceX, 2002. His reading habit, 10 hours daily in youth, fueled innovations like reusable rockets, with SpaceX achieving over 300 launches by 2025. Yet, controversies, like labor disputes at Tesla factories, recall Homestead's tensions. Contemporary statistics underscore persistence. The top 1% hold 32% of global wealth per Credit Suisse's 2024 report, often through diversified networks echoing Rothschild branches. Unexpected insight? Philanthropy as strategy. Buffett pledged 99% of his wealth to the Gates Foundation since 2006, extending Carnegie's gospel amid rising inequality debates. Reflect on this. The elite mindset, frugality, secrecy, long-term vision, built empires but often at societal cost. First takeaway: embrace meticulous tracking like Rockefeller's Ledger A to enforce discipline in finances. Second, prioritize family or network unity, as the Rothschilds did, for resilient growth. Third, view wealth as stewardship per Carnegie's gospel, committing to ethical giving. Because in the timeline of wealth, every rise comes with a hidden cost. If you enjoyed uncovering this hidden story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the Wealth Timeline, and turn on the bell icon. Because history's next secret is already unfolding.